Welcome back, everyone, to the AAA, also known as the AAA podcast, where we talk everything alcoholism to recovery. Wait, let me try that again. I
Wow,
got
that was good. What was wrong with
That
that?
was okay. All right. Well, hey, welcome back, everybody. It's still autumn. The weather's been acting very strange, at least in the southern Ontario region. But I know certain provinces have already gotten like snowstorms. So it's that time of year,
Oh, it's
where
brutal. I don't know what's going on. It's nuts.
yeah, it is what it is.
Can
I
you
mean,
can you hear me okay? Because I just switched. I'm having some. We're both having some technical difficulties here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you can hear
Am
me
I
okay?
sounding? Yeah. You're sounding coming through clear on my end. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. All right. We're in. Awesome.
We made.
So
Yeah.
yeah, the weather has been nuts. It was really hot a couple days ago. I was like, "What's
Yeah.
going on?" It's like 30
Yeah. It
degrees
was
out. I'm
summer
dying.
weather. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. So
So
random.
hot. I was like, "What is going on, guys?"
And then the next day it dropped down to like 6 degrees or something. It felt like pure winter, but that's just because of the extreme change. So I'm sure it wasn't that crazy,
It
but
was
still.
nuts. I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
I was literally burning in my car because like I was not prepared for it. And normally I ask Siri, "What's the weather?" before I go out, but
Mhm.
the weather's been relatively the same and it's been low. So
Yeah.
I went out in like full like sweater, jacket, everything. I was like, "What is going on?" I probably caught a little bit of even a tan. Just saying.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I mean, what?
No, I'm
So the
kidding.
weird thing. I mean, anybody can catch a tan, but one thing I've always noticed is that in the wintertime, the sun almost gets brighter. Like the whole point of winter is that the Earth is on like a sharper axis. That's why it's not winter everywhere around the world. It's like the northern
Yes.
hemisphere. We get winter around this time because
Yes.
we're farther away from the sun. It's we're angled farther this way, and then the summer we're closer to the sun. And then
Yes.
for whatever reason, it's like when the snow's on the ground and it's as cold as it can possibly be, the sun goes from like a yellow that we're used to with summer to this stark white. And it's like it seems like it's almost brighter. I mean, obviously it's just
Yeah.
reflecting, all the snow's reflecting light, making it seem brighter, but
But
I
there's no
don't know. I mean,
snow right now.
yeah, yeah, even right now it'll still do that. Yeah, where it's like the sun's just on that
Like to
sharp
me, it
angle and
seems
it's
like it's already winter to me. So I
yeah.
know exactly what you mean, but during the wintertime, it's like intensified.
Yeah, makes it hard to drive when you get like a glare just coming right in through your windshield
Oh
and
yeah.
everything's reflecting and yeah, it's no
Oh
fun.
my goodness, it's
But
brutal, and I'm not looking forward to that. Not at all. Well, I thankfully I have an SUV and it's an all-wheel drive, so
oh, nice. Yeah, okay.
I'll be
Yeah, that's good.
fine. But oh, not
It's still
looking forward to.
non-enjoyable. Yeah.
No,
I
no,
got a
no, no, no.
dinky I got a Toyota Corolla classic, when you think of a car, like just the three-letter word, you think of a sedan, like a Toyota Corolla. So that's what I got going for
So
me.
you have a Corolla?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got no
those are legit.
four-wheel drive. Yeah, I got no winter tires yet,
Yeah, but
and I know it's
Corollas last
extremely
forever. They're
yeah.
legit.
That's the ultimate thing. It's like I would definitely rather buy a $6,000 car that's gonna last me for 10 years than anything else that would last less. It just seems like not worth.
Anything else? I love that.
Got to do for style, I guess. Yeah. So my next car will probably not be another Toyota Corolla, but you never know.
You
Yeah.
never
But
know.
anyway, so we're back.
We're
We
back, guys. Hi. How's it going?
yeah, it's been a fun minute, or maybe not. I mean, these come out once a week thing, but
This episode's
uh,
gonna be chill. We're chilling
yeah,
today.
events have occurred, I guess would be a way to say it. So I guess first I want to start off with you, Darren. What's going on with your life? How's it
Chilling.
going?
I mean,
Yeah.
you know me. I'm all about making that money. All I'm doing is like I have like a goal
Yeah.
to hit like 10K before the end of the year.
Nice.
So that's all. Today's supposed to be technically like my day off. So it's like I don't do like any
Okay.
social media, nothing. Like I zone out.
Yeah.
And it's making me super restless. Like it's like I had to wake up
Oh
at
no.
4. Yeah, I had to wake up at 4 a.m. and just go on the notes. Like I was going on. I just was like filled up like 4 pages of stuff just for like business ideas. I just can't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just can't. I don't know how to. I don't
Yeah.
know how to
Just because.
relax.
Yeah. Just because you scheduled the day off doesn't mean your brain's going to give you the day off, right?
Yeah, no, ain't
It
happening.
we don't get to choose when we get to relax. Yeah. And no, I got the same feeling. Like when was it? Saturday night, I think.
Okay,
I
okay.
had 3 to 4 hours to myself. which I hadn't
Okay,
had
hello.
in a while because I'd been busy as of late. And it was like, okay, time to relax. But I couldn't. And so I just started working on stuff. Like I just couldn't relax. I was like,
It's like a
now is the
restlessness.
time for me just to like watch YouTube videos or do nothing and just chill out, listen to music. And I couldn't do it. I was just like, I need to do something. And so yeah, like my brain is restless.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
I
like
need at least a couple days or something, right, to get into it.
a
Yeah.
little outlet or something. I don't know. And like, I just feel like anytime I'm watching like YouTube or anything, I'm just like wasting time. But I'm not at the same time because a lot of the stuff I do watch is like stuff that'll help me in the business.
Yeah, it's still
So
educational. It'll
yeah,
still,
my,
yeah. You're
it
not just
just
watching reality
depends.
TV. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes I'm just like watching cooking shows or something. Like I'm just, it's always educational to me.
Yeah,
But
exactly. You can always find use out of what's out there, entertainment
yeah,
wise.
I'm
Yeah.
just like, I find it so hard just to like switch the brain off sometimes. I really have a problem with that. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's a really good gift. I like to say that I have because it keeps me driven and going. And like I have this 10K goal, and like I'm already halfway, and I'm
Oh, seriously? Wow.
yeah, I'm like
We
more than
still
that.
we still
Well,
got 2 months.
yeah, we
So
still got two
yeah.
months. So I'm trying to get like I'm going hard on these last 2 months, trying to put together this like nice little business plan. Then I'm starting another business with a couple buddies from high school, so I'm really excited about that.
Nice.
And that's kind of getting
Yeah.
out my it's kind of getting out my like food bug. I have like a food bug. I've always wanted to own a restaurant,
Yeah, 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 yeah. You
and I
mentioned.
want to do this by the age of like 34 or 35. I'm 29
Nice.
now, and then this
Yeah.
corona happened, so I was like,
See what
I don't
happens.
know.
Try
I just
try to take the
yeah.
time to
It
build a
doesn't seem like
plan.
it's going to be happening, so I
Yeah.
came together with a different business plan with two other buddies, and we're putting that together now, so that'll be ready for 2021. So I'm really
Yeah.
excited about that. And yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm
Good.
just keeping busy
Yeah.
and working as much as I can, getting that paper.
Yeah. Way to
And
do it.
yeah, what about you?
Well, it's a very similar thing, except for the entrepreneurial side of it. I'm not being an entrepreneur in any way, aside from us doing this, and even then, this would you consider this an entrepreneurial endeavor? I don't think so. This is more of just a hobby for us.
Yeah, this
It
is
could
so
be.
it could be an entrepreneur. Yeah, it could be though
There's
because it
yeah,
depends. Because we're almost like at episode like 15, 20, between 15 and 20 right now.
yeah. So we're
And
getting
like
there. We're
another
moving our way
year,
in.
that's like 40. Like you just never know what happens. You just never know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah,
This is still season one. That's the best way to look at it, right? Every year will have its own season, and we'll kind
you
of
just never
go
know.
in that way. Yeah, but no. So aside from that, I got my first long gig. I'm sure there's an actual term for it, or maybe there isn't, but like I've mentioned this before that I work in the entertainment industry, which kind of sounds like I don't know why. Just to me, that sounds
Like
uh like porn. I don't know why,
it kind of
but
does
it's just
actually.
like
When you say
when
the
I say I
entertainment, it
work in
does
the
that.
entertainment industry, it's like what the hell does that mean?
It
It's
kind of
like
does sound like
TV and
that
movies.
actually.
Yeah. I work in the entertainment industry. It's like, whoa, bro, like who do you know? But no,
Oh my
not that.
god.
I've yet to work in anything scandalous. But um yeah, and so all of the gigs that I've gone, the longest one was like 12 days. That's like as long as it gets, and that's like doing a movie or whatever, right? Obviously, it can get longer than that depending, but just recently I got signed on with a contract for something that's going to last to the end of the year, and then depending on what happens with your boy Truly, scheduling wise, if the Rona doesn't completely destroy society, then they would sign me on until June. So it's
Right.
like that's crazy long. I've never. It's like holy crap. Like I'm set if that's what I
Wow.
got going on. Because otherwise, I was just gonna go back into the labor industry, not the entertainment. So I'm still totally, if the end of the year comes and they don't re-sign me, then I just do that anyway. But I'm happy either way. I mean, the fact that I even got this in the first place, right?
Yeah,
Add it to my
that's great.
resume slash also it's just a great experience to be with people for that long. It's like you can actually form a relationship with them and get to know who they are rather than like a 3 day shoot where it's like you just learn the person's name and you're saying goodbye. It's yeah,
Exactly.
makes
Yeah.
things easier in that regard. But yeah, so it's like yeah, both of us are staying busy in a way that makes us restless,
It's good though.
but in a good way.
It's good. Let's hope that of your speaking of your shirt, by the way, we're gonna mention I have the exact same shirt in reverted colors. It's in white.
Oh,
I
nice
got
with
it
the,
for
the
my
blue.
work. They're throwing them out for free at my work at one of my work parties.
Nice. Yeah.
Um But what is so funny about this is I have a Budweiser shirt that my brother had given me like just way back before I stopped drinking, and
Yeah.
I wore it one time on a YouTube video, and I was just saying, "Hey, don't cancel me because it's just an old shirt. Like, calm down."
Yeah, right.
Because
Yeah.
I know
The copyright gods are out there, right? Yeah.
there was like it no, it's more of like people like look up like because people look up to you and they're like looking for a reason to cancel you. That's the thing.
Right.
So
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
say,
You get the
"Oh,
two.
well,
You
how
get the
could you
lovers
be?
and the
Yeah,
haters.
how could you be wearing that shirt if you're sober?" It's like it's just a
Yeah.
shirt. Calm down, like
Yeah. I
chill.
guess that's something that I hadn't
No,
even brought up. But yeah, it's like this
it's
is,
chill.
so today's sponsor is Corona. No. Um, but yeah, I've had like 3 or 4 alcohol merch shirts, and I think this is the last one that I held on to just because I just
I
like the
have
color
two.
scheme, the navy.
Ah,
Yeah. But yeah, it's I've never
is that
that
controversial?
no, no. Well, at least not for me, because it's like I never even thought of it that way. Like when I got it, I just got it because I had bought like a 2-4 of whatever, like Coors, and then it just a shirt came with it. And I was like, oh, okay. It's like it
Yeah,
wasn't like emotionally or psychologically tied to the drink for whatever reason. I don't know why.
it's just like you just have them. Yeah, like my brother gave it to me from like some
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
the
It wasn't like you were
Budweiser one.
seeking it out because you love it
And
so much.
then the
Yeah.
other one is from like the restaurant that I was working at. It's like it's sponsored by Corona, so they were like you get like you walk in and there's a giant Corona sign, like it's huge.
Nice.
So like
Yeah, yeah.
they're throwing those out at the parties because they probably get tons of those free. They're
Yeah,
just
just
throwing
free
them out
promotion.
all extra large. So it's just like I'm just wearing that to bed.
Yeah. Yo, I gotta say, for in the world of advertising, because you work in marketing, as the
Yeah.
audience knows, um, there are many different forms of marketing. One of them being merch drops, right? Is that the official name for it? I feel like it
Hmm.
is.
That's
That
fair.
uh,
Yeah.
that has never worked on me. Does it work on anybody? Do you know that to be an actual viable thing
Well,
of
I know
advertising?
yes, I do know people that it works on,
Okay, it
but
does work. Okay.
I'm not one of them. That's for
People,
sure.
right. People like
But
repping brands.
certain people, yeah. Like there's this girl that I worked with at the last restaurant that I worked at that I managed. She is like obsessed with makeup and
Right.
like she has tons of tattoos, but she was obsessed with makeup as well.
Mhm.
And I don't know if those go hand in hand. I don't know why I just mentioned that, but
True.
the
Yeah.
tattoo
No, no, no.
part.
Yeah,
But
yeah. That's simple.
she loved makeup, and there's the Jeffree Star. Do you know who Jeffree
Right.
Star is?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anytime he
YouTube
has the
personality.
makeup, she goes and buys it.
Right. Damn. So yeah, she
Right.
is absolutely attached to
So
the
that's
brand.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
I
kidding.
don't. And I went like a little while ago. I went into my sister's bathroom,
Yeah.
and she has a James Charles like makeup thing.
What? No
That
kidding.
was like the first time I ever saw it in real life. Like I was like, wow, this
Yeah.
is so weird because you hear about it.
Yeah. You know that he's like a millionaire, a multimillionaire, but it's like, this
Yeah, you
is
hear about it. You're
how.
like, what? This is so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yo.
those are two situations. So my sister, that's makeup though. Like that's a given for girls, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it is still merch related. It's still they specifically bought it because of the
Exactly.
person, because of the brand, not
Yeah.
because of the actual high quality of the thing.
True.
And then
And they're
so
YouTubers too. So
yeah, yeah, which is the interesting thing. It's so weird how TV and movies are still playing catch up to the internet, to YouTube. Because it's like that has
yeah.
more reach than film and television ever had. The entire world can see you if you're
Yeah.
popular enough on the internet. It's instant
Yeah.
access.
It's
And
so strange. Yeah.
the new world of marketing that we live in that regard. Yeah.
It
But
is
actually,
crazy.
that's something that I kind of wanted to lean into too. And I know there's probably a million examples, but one thing that I just thought of was marketing in film. And one specific example I have is the Transformers 4, which is like the
Oh Lord.
worst. Maybe the fifth one's the worst. I don't know,
Oh
but the fourth
Lord.
is really bad with
Anything from
Mark
3,
Wahlberg.
like pretty much anything from like 1 on is horrible.
That all of them,
I'm
yeah, when you look at
ruthless.
it. But
I'm
what the
ruthless. All of
yeah,
them,
no,
1
no, that's
on,
I don't even think
1
that's a
on.
controversial opinion. I'm pretty sure even the people who love
The
it are like, yeah,
first one
yeah,
was
it's trash,
boring
but
too. They're all
yeah,
boring. No, and they're all too much metal sounds. But okay, whatever.
and too much
Continue.
graphics and
Yeah.
everything.
But
Yeah,
okay,
but
okay. Yeah.
so all of those elements aside, the fourth one has such heavy branding and marketing in it where
Oh.
there's one scene where it's like one of the Transformers crashes into a Bud Light, like the new Bud Light Strong or whatever, like a
Oh,
specific type of beer, and it crashes in the truck, and then all of the bottles spill out everywhere. And then Mark Wahlberg comes out, and he's like stealing some guy's car, and he like takes the bottle and pops it off. He's like, "Oh, is this your car?" And then drinks it, and he's like, "Ah," and
oh,
like finishes
wow.
the whole thing. And it's like a minute long segment of him just advertising this beer in the middle of a movie, in the middle of what's supposed to be like a story, and then drives off with the car. And you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? That was clearly an advertisement. That wasn't
when
a
when
scene
you're
in a movie.
already watching a car advertisement, the whole movie's a car advertisement.
Yeah, every Transformer is a specific type of car that they're
I
trying
think
to
it's a
sell you.
Chevrolets. I think they're Chevrolets,
Oh right, yeah, yeah, like
right?
the main guys.
I
Yeah.
think
No,
both
yeah, yeah,
movies
I
are
would agree with
Chevrolet.
that. Yeah. And
I
it's
think.
so weird because specifically with drinking and alcohol, to relate it
Mhm.
to this podcast, um, I do feel like I was influenced in my youth regarding drinking and like smoking cigarettes and stuff from movies. Like that actually had an impact on me. And so the
Yeah.
Transformers didn't, but that's just the most egregious example I could think of. But there are other films like Youth in Revolt with Michael Cera, where there's like a good guy version of him and a bad guy version of him, where he's got like his skinny little mustache and he's like smoking cigarettes and stuff. And I remember thinking, that's fucking cool. Like I want to, like I wish I could emulate that kind of like
That was James Dean.
vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it is interesting how yeah, there is psychological power that companies can have when they put things in to like aside from just general advertising into things like television and film and how it can impact people, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of super it's super sad almost in a way, but at the end of the day, it's the way the world has to work. It's like watching YouTube like years ago. It's like you can just watch it. Now it's
Yeah,
like
compared to now,
there's
yeah.
ads upon ads upon ads upon ads. It makes the most almost the most money in the world company wise. It's insane
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
much they, and it's just all on ads. It's
Yeah. It's
crazy. It's
insane.
like Facebook, they all make it all on ad. It's just anything to influence a person to purchase something essentially is where we're at for the
Yeah.
world basically. And that's why like sometimes I have a very it's so strange because I do it for work. And it's almost
Yeah.
like it's like you want to teach certain people that like to use it to almost like grow your personal brand and grow your brand, which is great, but then you don't want to
Mm.
get like trapped into like I don't know. You can easily get trapped into things where you're constantly being things are being pushed onto you, and then you're being influenced, and then all of a sudden you're like, how did I end up here?
Yeah, you
Because you were
become something that isn't
influenced.
even necessarily you. Yeah, you just become a
Yeah,
brand consuming machine. Or even that term consumer. It's like that's how companies see civilians in the first world nations.
exactly.
It's like they are consumers for us to push products on essentially.
Mhm,
And it's
exactly.
yeah, and like you say, the world is run on ads nowadays. YouTube is all
It's
run on
just
ads. Television has
always,
always been that way. That's how they make the money. It's not off of viewerships. Like HBO and stuff like that behind
always.
a paywall, that's based on viewers, but everything else that's just basic cable is based on
Yeah.
ads. Same with radio,
Anything,
same with anything.
anything that your eyes are on is anything that's is going to try to influence you in some sense. To it's just how interesting it is now, though. How it's very easy because we have our phones essentially, so it's very easy for brands to throw things in your face all the time and for people to influence you in certain ways. So it's very, I would say it's very like for us to grow up.
Yeah.
I was like, I had like a BlackBerry, like that, like BlackBerry. What is it? BBM was like the biggest thing back
Yeah.
in the day. But imagine growing up now and you have
I
all
I
these
couldn't
things
imagine it. It's insane.
constantly, yeah, just being pushed in
Yeah.
your face. Like we would just see it on TV. Like during the most frustrating thing I find is so interesting because when I'm watching YouTube, I watch YouTube like it's almost like it's a television for me. So I watch a lot of
Yeah.
educational things,
Mhm.
but throughout that there'll be two ads usually, which
Yeah.
at this point now before I would go take my mouse and click next, but at this point it's just I'm like there's no point. It's just kind of like how much time am I going to spend hitting like skip ad, skip ad, skip ad? Either
Yeah.
that I pay for the premium, where they get
Right.
a chunk of my money and then I don't get any ads. So it's still a lose lose for me, but it's still a win win for them regardless.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's perfect marketing. But what I realize is that you can easily get distracted into things that you don't really want or need in life. And that's
Yeah. Well, that's part of it's not even marketing, but on Google side or on Facebook side of things, they get the advertisers, and the advertisers want the right people to show the ads too. So
right.
they will Facebook and Google, who aren't the ad people, will create an algorithm to help the ad people specifically tailor. And so you'll end up seeing more and more ads that are directly
Tailored to you.
to
Exactly.
you, and then it sucks you into the rabbit hole of becoming, yeah, like this merch consumer essentially, right? It's
Exactly.
scary.
And
It's
then
it's
what's
kind of
so
messed up.
interesting about that is, to make my point, is essentially when we were growing up, they there isn't that algorithm. There is we watch TV and there's almost like a set amount of commercials, and you would only see those amount of commercials for a certain amount of time. So it's like almost like a perfect example would be like Coca-Cola around Christmas time. You would see
Yeah,
on TV, you would see the Santa Claus, all those types of. You get excited around that time of year because you would see those type of commercials. But
yeah,
now you
yeah,
can turn on your phone, you can just see pretty much anything that's tailored to you to
yeah.
make
They
you
try to
in.
make
Yeah,
you, yeah, exactly. They try to get you
right.
into it instantly rather than it being seasonal. Yeah,
So I find that so interesting how like back in the day we would watch literally I think every probably within a show, it's usually an hour show, is like in an hour slot. So say you're watching a
hmm
show from 3 to 4 o'clock. Whenever you're rewatching that back, that show's 40 minutes because you're watching literally like 20 minutes of ads. But
yeah, yeah. Threaded
people are
throughout. Yeah,
like always so frustrated about ads being I'm just like, well, we used to when we were back growing up back in the day on
there's more
TV, there
ads
was
than
so much
now. Yeah,
ads. There's always ads. There's ads everywhere.
yeah,
It's just being displayed in a different way, and I just find that being on the phone, you can't even scroll. Like just that's why I don't like being on Instagram and stuff like this. Even though I do it for work, it's just like it's an ad. It's an ad. It's an ad. That's how you if you want people to know you and be seen, just put an ad.
yeah,
Tailor it to those people that want to see you, and that's it. That's how it's easy. Like if I, for me, basically what I'm trying to do is if I make a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time, I can flip this money into a business project that will make me more money, basically.
yeah,
And
yeah,
by doing that, you just have to advertise it. And when you advertise it as a professional that knows what they're doing, there it builds trust. And
hmm
only people buy from people they trust, and that's just it. So if
yeah,
you
yeah.
want to
It
sell anything to
creates
anyone,
the
they have
six
to trust you.
degrees of separation thing. Yeah. You got to
Yep.
build yourself up as a personality in a bunch of strangers' lives, like thousands of people that you'll never meet,
So that
and then it builds itself.
Yeah, so that Transformers movie is mainly a male audience. So those are the type of ads we're
Yes,
seeing as Chevrolet and beer ads. It's like,
yeah, and like Beats by Dr. Dre and stuff. It's like this is the new Beats pill that we made out of Transformer cells. Like it's so weird. It's
and
ridiculous.
really, the people that are watching aren't really that. I wouldn't say are that like. I mean, I don't know. Like when I went and saw Transformers One, I saw it in theaters with a bunch of buddies, and we were
Yeah,
underage. Pretty sure we're underage. So it's like
yeah,
those type
yeah.
of movies are influencing us for that when we're ready to drink. Well,
Now you know
you
what you're
see it
gonna drink.
already. You already see it, and then boom! All of a sudden, you're at the store. You just get a Budweiser because it's what you've been seeing for the past 2 years in Transformers movies without even subconsciously realizing it.
Yeah, exactly. It has created you in a way. And that's kind of where I'm thinking of like we obviously live in a capitalist world. That's where this advertising system comes from. And when the alternative is communism, got to choose capitalism every time because that is the better system. But it has all of these negative sides to it. It's not a perfect system by any means. There's tons of downsides to it. And one of them is that anybody can advertise anything, and that can create a toxic type of society, like one where people are, getting everyone's becoming an alcoholic because there's just drinking ads everywhere and there's no way to stop it because it's just a free market. So there's no actual rules or regulations depending on if something's this toxic substance that you're trying to force down people's throat. And then other examples are like Mountain Dew or Doritos, all that shit, right? Like just stuff that is not good for you.
Exactly.
But
Mm,
there's no morality to capitalism. It's just like whatever you can put out there. So it's one of those things where it'd be nice if we could live in a world where you try to merge social situations and stuff, or just a type of system around advertisements where it's like if you have a product that's like Mountain Dew or like alcohol, you have to like give a certain amount of your revenue towards like PSAs or something. That
Hmm.
way there's like the free market still exists, but now if you want your ad out there, it also has to do good as well. So it's like you have your product, but then you also have to give like a 10% toward a PSA of how drinking can be
Yeah,
harmful or something, right? Because otherwise that doesn't exist. The only legal requirement they have is to say please drink responsibly. That way they don't get sued. Otherwise,
yeah.
they're like fucking drink our shit forever and never stop. If you drank every day, that'd be great because we're making
It's
maximum money.
crazy. Yeah, it's
Like they
just
do
so,
not care about any moral implications of what they're selling.
and it's so
So
sad
it's
because so many people die from it, and so many
yeah.
people are just like it. Again, it's like going back to like it's inherited and things like this. It's in your genetics. It's just it goes so deep where it's like it needs to be destroyed, but it can't be because when you I don't know if you looked into it, but like I was, it's impossible for it. You actually you did. It was you. Yeah, you're the one that told me this.
What about
That
what? What?
it's just like basically impossible for the world to erase alcohol
Well,
because
yeah, because it's not even humans. Monkeys
yeah,
drink alcohol. It's like
it's
it's
just it
deeper
not
than
happening.
humanity.
Hmm.
Yeah, toxifying yourself is a part of
It's like I'm learning
a
stuff for this
higher
whole
intelligent
podcast.
thing. Yeah, it's insane to think about. But yeah, it's the same with anything. It's the same with like bullying. There's anti-bullying campaigns, but that is a part of our psychology that will never go away. People who get
Yeah,
hurt
it's
other
true.
people, and so we can try to alleviate that negativity and that toxicity, but it will never go away entirely, the same as we can never cure the cold. It's like that's just a thing that will always exist and never go away, and it's just part of the human
It's
condition.
part of it. Yeah,
So the last
and
thing we should do is exacerbate it. We should try
yeah,
to alleviate it, try our best to dim it down because it is part of our worst nature. It's like of everything that's good about human beings, drinking or just toxifying ourselves, fucking ourselves up because we're exhausted and we just want to forget everything. We should try to make that like something that happens the least amount. It's like we know that it'll never go away, but we should try at least to like have PSAs and like tell people it's okay to just not drink. Like that shouldn't be like a normal thing
yeah.
that you do every weekend.
It's like
Yeah.
it's almost like that transitional point where like you're hanging out with people that are still drinking and things like this, and
Mhm.
then you're saying you don't drink anymore and you feel uncomfortable, and it's like that time is very awkward because then
Yeah. Yeah.
after
Absolutely.
like when some time goes by, it's like okay, people start to respect you. They know that you don't drink. They start to you know
It becomes the new normal. Yeah. Rather than it being this weird thing.
it it's so interesting how like the like society it's just such a norm for society and like how it's like what
That's
that's
the
what
automatic response. They go, "Oh
again
yeah, you
too
drinking?"
yeah and like what's great like again too it's the freedom of choice like we have choice that's what makes us like great about humans is we have the choice to say no right but yet we don't so that's where I feel like that's strange how the world will let that happen but at the same time it's like every person's different right so it's just something that can't be avoided almost
Yeah, because there's no one size fits all. We can't just create a policy where
exactly
it's like, if someone says yes, but they really meant no, then it's no. It's like,
it was
well, we
going in
don't
my
know
head
that
I'm like
though.
yeah no you
Yeah,
can't
everybody just
just
is having their own thoughts, so it's impossible to make that kind of dissertion. Yeah.
and everybody has their own like how to describe it. It's like everybody has their own like struggle that they're going through, and everybody's going through their own personal struggle. Whether it just be finding the right size shoe, like it's just little things like that. Like I was watching this one TLC thing. It's called it's about like like foot doctors
Okay.
and
What do they
how
call it?
like
Orthro? No, orthopedics
p
is the thing.
ortho no wait no like pediatric I don't know.
Pediatrician?
No, pediatrician's child. I think it's pediatric.
Okay.
I think it's pediatric. Is that kids though? No, pediatrician's a child doctor, but like,
Yeah.
is it pediatric? Is that what it is? I don't know,
Pediatrics.
guys. Look that up
I
if you
don't
don't
know.
know. Okay, we
Yeah,
gotta look that
check it
up.
out. Yeah.
Anyways,
That's a
besides the
Googleable
point.
one. Yeah.
Um, what's really interesting is like a lot of people have foot problems, or
Right.
it's like they don't like showing their feet in public.
Yeah.
Like that's just that personal struggle for some people. You know what I mean? Like for
Yeah.
us, it's alcohol is a personal struggle for us. Where for me specifically, it's like some people like will ask me like because like I'm just like on a grind constantly always.
Yeah.
And a few questions I've been getting lately on my coaching calls is how are you constantly staying focused
On the
like
mark. Yeah.
on like a drive, like you know what I mean? And most people that I talk to don't know that I don't drink alcohol.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the main really interesting where they'll be like, well, how come you're like, how are you able to like make this amount and da 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 and like how do you have the time? It's basically like because I think this is personally the reason why I'm able to do it is because I'm restless constantly because I don't
Mm.
have that really that I smoke weed, but and that's legal now in Canada, but it's not something where I can really zone out completely. Where like if
You
I were
don't
to
black out on
black
weed.
out, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
black
exactly.
out. I
Yeah.
smoke a joint, and that's like I'm chilling for an hour, and then maybe I'll have a nap, and then I'm going back to work for another 6 7 hours because I'm I don't really have that. You
Same
can't like
thing
when you're
that other
drinking,
people
it
have.
doesn't. When you're drinking, it doesn't take. You just don't sit there just for an hour and you have a drink and then you. It's like a long term type of thing where
Hmm.
you drink and you sit and you relax and then you know let me put this on TV and then you put this and the next 6 hours goes by and you've done nothing but
Yeah.
you're a little tipsy and you can't drive home or something where every story is different but for me I a lot of people I understand that they drink when they come home or they have some
Yeah.
sort of um
Well, just
mm,
time consuming thing that will take away the time that they would otherwise be productive with.
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
I find that alcohol kind of it weasels its way in there somehow. So it'll be like an example would be, oh well, I didn't get time to because sometimes I'll give homework. I didn't get
Yeah.
time to do homework because my friend had a batch like a baby shower or something, and but
Sure.
there
Yeah.
was only four of us allowed to go, so I had to do this, da, 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 and then we had the punch, and then da, da, da. It's like okay, so you went out and you had a little bit of a good time,
Yeah.
cool, and then now it's harder to recuperate because as opposed to maybe a person that didn't drink.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. If you were to go to a baby shower,
I
not
don't know.
drink, you can then continue doing things after the baby shower. You can then be productive, or you can go to sleep, wake up, and be productive. But if you drink at the baby shower, you're now gone for the night. And then in the morning, you're now recuperating from the drinking. So you just
Yeah.
lost like an easy 12 hours, 18 hours, where you could have otherwise been doing something productive. Well, yeah, because that's like at the very beginning, you were just saying, like, if people are asking you, how do you have the money or the time? Alcohol takes both of those things from you
Yeah.
when you
Really
drink.
does.
It steals your time and it takes all your money. So it's like if you want more money and be more productive and have more time to do that, you'd be surprised at how much you can get done if you just don't drink. Like it's insane because now you have all this time and you're not doing anything else. It's in of itself a form of meditation or a form of relaxing or whatever, right? When you perform a task, right?
Yeah.
It's not manual. You do whatever suits you, and then it'll become automatic, and it's just something that you do.
Yes. And I'm not like also too like I'm not talking I don't want to anybody that's listening that does drink alcohol. I don't want to talk down and say okay that you come home and you don't do anything when you come home or essentially it's just more of uh I don't really have an outlet. This is just me personally. Like this is things
Yeah.
that I went through in my life and personally, I
Well,
just
same
don't
with me.
have an outlet where I can really just like just sit and relax and like zone something where I can just really escape unless I'm taking like psychedelics or something like this where we
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah, right,
we
exactly.
mentioned in the
Yeah.
last episode that can't happen. You can do this like once a year or something. Like that's really like a nice escape, but
Mhm.
I think what alcohol does is it gives you that escape that you can get at any time basically.
Yeah, that's
And
something you could do every day and not die from necessarily, right?
yeah, and I
From
think a
most
lot
of
of people don't really have that routine where uh it's more of like I have to be working, but I'm working the wrong hours almost.
yeah,
And it's like the time is being put in the wrong places and it's almost like you're just a little bit confused a little bit in life because you're just like what is going on but I think honestly that's how I used to feel a lot of the times when I was drinking alcohol, you're kind of cloudy. You don't really know what you're doing or where you're
Yeah,
going sometimes. And
because
again,
the priorities are just all out of whack.
it's
You know.
different for
Yeah.
everybody, but that's just like my personal experience. So anybody that does drink and they like to chill and they like to relax, if you like to do that, do that. Do you. But when I don't really go out much. Like today when he messaged me, I'm coming home from doing groceries. I'm coming home, eat, and then it's like, okay, get some work done,
Just
and then
chilling.
I'm getting ready to go back to like. After this, I'm gonna go back and do what I need to do to finish, so that I can do something for Halloween, so that I can make some more cash. Like it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
constantly like I'm just, and which isn't good always to be doing constantly. It's good
Mhm.
to have like a rest period and like take some time for yourself, But like I said from
It-
the beginning, I can't stop.
yeah. And that's okay, especially so long as, and again, at the beginning, how we mentioned this, how it's good to relax, but if you set a day for yourself to relax and then you don't relax, then it doesn't
I
work.
need
Then
to
you
be
got to give yourself a
relaxing.
little more time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like come on, Darren, there has to be balance too, Like you can't
Yeah.
just be all over the place doing all these different things and okay, cool, but then you're dropping passing out because you ain't like come on.
Yeah. Burnout is no fun.
Yeah, you gotta get it all together, get it good, get it, because that's almost too like, again, like it's like an addiction of mine in a different way. It's
Right.
like
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah. Work
replacing
addict.
the addiction in a different way. I'm like working too hard. That's not
Yeah.
good always, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I'll at least say this: back when I was drinking, that was like I was working a normal 9 to 5 Monday to Friday job, but
Hmm?
the priority was drinking. And so that's kind of the opposite of always working is you're trying to always relax. So it's like the second
Yeah.
work was done, I would drink. Like say on a Friday, I would work. Second I'm done, drink. Friday night into Saturday, then Saturday drink the whole day away, Sunday drink the whole day away, and then Monday you recuperate as you start to work, and then as soon as the workday is done, you drink again. So it's like
Oh man.
focusing on constantly relaxing is also not good at all. To
Yeah,
just do
that
nothing, because
sounds
then you
like
don't feel good about yourself.
hell for me. Just that
Yeah,
situation sounds like that would be, to be honest, like I'm not kidding around. Like that would
yeah,
be like if I were to die and go to hell, that would be like
that's
my
what it would
day.
be.
That would be my daily hell. I swear.
Yeah,
Like going like where I don't want to sound like mean or anything like, but working like with cut like say as like I, I don't want to say this, but like I'm sure there's
just
lots of cashiers
just a
that
vague
love their
example.
job, but
Yeah,
I was a cashier when I grew. Like my first real job was like as a cashier at a
yeah,
grocery store,
yeah.
and I just like that will make you like hate the world and like society. Like it's just like such a
Well, just the
dark
worst of
job.
humanity.
It's a
You get
dark
all the
job.
worst people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a dark job.
yeah,
And you don't think of it as like, oh, it's just like it's dark. It's like people are just like mean. People are mean and like they're
yeah.
evil and like it's just you because you get all different. And again,
And
people
they
are
all take it
lot
out on cashiers.
and people are nice too. There's lots of amazing, nice people, but
Mhm.
they're few and there's few. It's a lot
Right, but
fewer than, and that's kind of a good example of like how people are living their lives. It's just like we were mentioning it with the Jesse in that one episode is where a lot
right.
of people are subconsciously like hiding their emotions and their things with alcohol, and
Yeah.
it sometimes it catches them on the wrong day, and it's like I need a drink,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Instead
you
of
know?
venting, you just internalize all of the psychological and emotional punishment and, callousness you get from all the terrible people you have to deal with throughout the day, and then you just drink to recuperate. So it's like when you get off work is when you're supposed to be actually living your life, and instead you're just recuperating from work. So you never end up getting time for yourself, to
Yeah,
do anything for yourself. Yeah. And that's no way to
yeah.
live. Yeah.
There's no way to live. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's like horror, and like I think I'm scarred from that or something. Like I don't know. It's like I just don't ever want to
Right.
go back to
Yeah.
that. So I'm constantly
Yeah.
always like, and because I think I don't. This is personally my honest opinion for myself is because I don't drink alcohol or take any sort of like any sort of medication or anything. I just smoke weed.
Hmm. Yeah.
It 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 makes my brain sometimes just go too much where I'm like I could use it. I'm a type of person that could use a drink, but at the same time I
Right.
can't. I can't because it doesn't work well with my genetics. But it's like he's the type of person that maybe he does need to drink. Like when he comes home, he needs to have a glass of like something.
A
Because he's just
relaxant, a
yeah,
relaxant,
because he's
a
just
glass
like
of
he
cough
can't.
medicine.
I was up at 4 this morning because it's just like I can't
Right.
sleep because
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
so
just
like
restlessness.
okay. I'm like okay, well if I'm halfway like already at my
I
goal,
should
then it's
do
like
it.
oh my
Yeah,
god, like I
yeah,
gotta go get more, and then it's like okay, but then if I do it quicker, but it's like I'll hit my goal, and then it's like I still won't be satisfied.
right.
I
Yeah.
noticed this with myself. It's like I have like some sort of like issue where it's like I'm trying to figure it out. Remember I was telling you on like was it
I
two
think it was
episodes or
2 episodes
yeah,
ago.
2
Yeah.
episodes ago how I was just feeling that like so. But again, one day at a time. You take it one day at a time.
Exactly. I mean, hey, life isn't about a destination. The journey is the destination, right?
Mm,
It's about the process. It's about the dance. It's about the transition of time and the movement of everything, right? So you shouldn't look at it like, oh, we gotta, I gotta figure this thing out, and then as soon as I'm done, then I'm good. It's like there's no then. There's just now, and then now again, and
that's
now
all
again.
right.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
you're right.
that's the best possible way that we could internalize our lives, right? Generally speaking. So
Yep.
that's the way to do it. Yeah. Well,
I
anyway, I don't know about you, Darren, but I feel like this was a good talk. I
yeah,
think we
it was
covered a
great.
lot.
Great catch up. Like a little, just guys, we have lives behind these computers, and these
That
screens, and
no, not me.
it's
All
like
you're seeing, this is it. The second I shut this off, I just go to sleep until we do the next podcast.
for days, just days on end.
Yeah, I'll just wait. I just wait until I get a text.
Yeah, and it's just so crazy because it's like we do this weekly, so it's like we're
Yeah,
literally like it's funny because over time it's like we're just growing. Isn't that weird
yeah.
how we're just growing? Like
We're
we're right
continuing.
now
Yeah,
we're
there's always
growing
stuff to
right now.
talk about.
We're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
growing. And then we'll just be all of a suddenly just be in a different place next week where we're like, what? How did one week go by? It's like we're here. What? How did all this
Yeah, what's
happen
going
in this
on?
short time?
We're playing catch up. Yeah, we're like other people who got to play catch up as soon as they leave work. We're doing it, but with ourselves. Where it's like,
Exactly.
whoa, another week disappeared. It's time to catch up. Yeah,
It's
got to get my weekly dose of Darren. Yeah,
so yeah, guys. Thanks so much for listening. We got our weekly dose in.
that's
Just
right.
some quick non-alcoholic shots.
That's right. Exactly. Some quick convo shots to get us going. Yeah, quick little convo relaxant
Oh
shot.
my gosh, yeah. Because like sometimes you just need to find guys. Honestly, what from since like I've had this like we've been doing this podcast and I've
Yeah.
found you, like it's been such a nice like relief to know
Hey.
somebody doesn't drink. So I'm gonna say on the
Yeah.
podcast now, guys, if you can find a friend or something that
Find a sober
doesn't
buddy.
drink, find a
Yeah.
sober buddy because then you really can like you don't feel so alone. I don't know if that's I guess that even too
Well,
like
yeah, they don't have to be your best friend, but solidarity, absolutely. Like knowing that there's someone that you can turn to. Yeah.
and I'm sure when you go to like AA and things like this, you I can meet people like this, right? And that's where for
Yeah.
me, I had that issue where it's like I don't really want to be around people. I got enough of
Yeah.
that. So
We didn't go to AA at the same time together. That's what happened, right? We went
yeah,
sober at different times. If we had gone at the same time and ran into each other, then we would have hung out then.
yeah,
And
it
then
would have
left
just been
AA.
fate. It was somehow. Remember I was telling you how
But
I
we still
met
met.
you? Yeah,
Yeah.
like from this girl that I didn't like, but at the end of the day, we ended up actually getting along really well, and that's how I ended up meeting you. So it's so
Yeah.
funny because it's like this girl, I was like, she's making me so mad, and then I called her out on it, and then she was like happy that I did because it was like sometimes people like they need that.
Of course. Well,
And then
it's
we
just yeah.
bonded. We bonded over it. So it was like, okay, cool. Now I can like see who she is. Da, 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 da. And then she like introduced me to you and all this stuff, and it was great. So it was cool.
Yeah. Which I still can't believe that happened. That's so
So
cool.
funny,
That's one of
right?
those things where it's just like it's a movie moment where they go, "Hey, there's this person. You want to chat?" And you're like, "Sure." Like I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that to happen, and yet here we are, right? All this time later.
It
We're
was so
closing in on a
funny.
year later, by the way. I don't know when the podcast started. I feel like it was right at the end of December, but we're closing in on a year anniversary. Isn't that
Oh
weird to
yeah,
think
sure.
about?
See, that's what I'm saying. We're just growing weekly. We're
Time flies, man.
we're
Yeah.
little sprouts, man.
Yeah.
We're Weeping Bell now. Before we were Bell Sprout, now we're Weeping Bell. We've
Yeah,
evolved.
exactly.
Do you know the
We're
Pokemon?
slowly getting bigger. Well, I know Pokemon, don't know those names, but if it
Okay.
wasn't Pokemon, it'd be Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Someone.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah.
We're like the little. It's like a little weed. It's like a little bell. It has like a little twig. Yeah. There's Weedle. Actually, I don't know. Weedle, I think, is like the little caterpillar.
Yeah.
and then it turns into a okay, whatever. Beside the point.
Still,
I'm
that's us.
I'm all about the Digimon and Pokemon. I just got a new Digimon case for my AirPods.
Oh, what? That's so cool. Wow.
Yeah. So
Yo, that's tight. Nice. Yo, that is sick. That's cool.
it's in there.
Wow, that is so
See,
cool.
I know. I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like a Digitamer.
Yeah.
All
Digital
right, guys.
monsters, Digimon are the champions. Anyway, yeah,
I
we're
literally
jumping out
sing
there.
it all the time.
Yeah. But hey, everybody, thanks for coming by, and we will see you
Watching.
next time. So until
Yeah.
then, have a great time and
Great week.
reach out if you have any questions or if you want to just hit us up and talk. Yeah,
Yeah. Please don't
reach
be
out to us
shy.
on our Instagram or on our
Time.
YouTube. Yeah.
Take care,
So,
guys. Bye.
see ya. Bye.